Welcome to homework collecting and checking off in room 11D. I wanted to welcome you and thank you so much for your fabulousness and your generosity in giving of your time to help us organize our materials in the morning and give students quick feedback about what they need to do still, what they've already accomplished. It's so extremely helpful. So let me just preface everything by saying you are truly appreciated and we're very grateful. I'm going to start by giving you a little tour of sort of the homework area, and then I'll walk you through the procedures so you can see sort of what works, from my experience, what works best. All right, so we're going to come over here, and this is where homework and papers get turned in. You'll see here that we have the turn-in basket, and then we have a series of trays. Homework gets turned in typically in the turn-in basket, and then trays 1 through 4. There are 2 other trays at the bottom, Wordly, Wise, and Grammar. You do not need to worry about those at all. I take care of those. But in the morning, kids will come in, and anytime after the first, couple minutes of school, they should be getting their homework turned into these places. Math workbooks for persons 1 through 16 or 17 typically go in the turn-in basket just because otherwise, there's no, the trays are too thin to accommodate all the workbooks. So you will have those usually on the top, as well as the second half of the stack in tray 1. And then you may have another assignment, spelling, if it's collected that day, probably in tray 2, maybe something else in tray 3, rarely, but sometimes there's something in tray 4 as well. So what you do then is you grab whatever you have. I've already grabbed the items for us, but I would grab the stack and come on over here. I've set a little desk here, though, for you to work, though you're certainly welcome to find any spot that works for you. We have a table out in the hall as well if, we're getting too loud for you here or whatever. I have some tools that are here, and I'll kind of walk you through those quickly and show you how this goes about. Okay, so here is a stack of papers that I just grabbed from one of the trays. And another thing that you're going to need is this class list, paper clips, stamps, and stamp pad. So the way I usually start is by taking the papers and putting them in number order. So you can see here that all the kids hopefully are trained to have both name and number. And if you start by putting the papers in order, then it's very easy to quickly just look at them and make sure that they are complete. So for example, with this paper here, everything is done. This was actually a time drill in class. So if the kids didn't have it done, it was perfectly fine. On homework, it's checking to make sure that everything is set. And if so, all I do is stamp it, which says that it's been checked in, and then move on to the next one. You can see that if these are put in number order first, then it's really easy to see who has completed the work and who has not. After I've gone through and stamped all the papers, I'm going to fill out my little sheet here. So there should be a pen and a highlighter out here. And I'm going to title this. So this one is called Sprint. And if you could put some sort of designation on the cover sheet as well as the date. So this was due on, we'll say today is the 8th. Okay. And then if you take this and you have kind of gone through and seen who has done the assignment, if there's anybody that has not done the assignment, for example, Safia, who actually has since moved, but hers is missing. If you just circle or highlight any, then that's a sign to me that I need to follow up with that kid or that they're turning in late, etc., etc. Then I just take the sheet, put all the stack of papers together. Please keep them in number order. Right now I have Justin number 28 on top, which would be terrible practice, so that they start with number 1 at the top and 33 at the bottom. Just put a clip And then just put the whole packet. It's really obnoxious. I know the camera is jiggling all over the place here. But I just take the packet, clip it, put the whole thing back over in the turn-in basket. I know then that this is set to go. I take the cover sheet, and then these have been stamped so they're ready to be returned. Okay? Now the trick here is math. Math is tricky just because it's already bound in a book, so we don't have individual sheets that they're turning in. So the kids will have, hopefully, they should be putting a sticky, they have been trained to put a sticky on whatever page that they're doing. So let's say tonight, for example, the kids are working on 1-7. So what they do is they take a small sticky and place it at the top of wherever they are in their book so that hopefully you can kind of quickly go through and see. So I'm looking here at number 7, 1-7, and I am going to just kind of quickly look for completion and stamp each page that is set. If there's something that jumps out at you, like, oh, it seems like this person is really, I don't know, I had a hard time with this. If something jumps out at you like that, and you would take a little note on the sheet, that would be fabulous, but it's certainly not expected. I will go through and make sure everything is set. So again, if you stamp the pages, I would circle or highlight any student that did not complete the work or who didn't turn it in. Again, keep these in number order. This is the one piece that is different. If it's all completed in number order, then it's very easy then for you to then take these and pass them back out to the students' paper cubbies. We have to have the kids get this back during the day so that they can then do it at night. So persons number 1 through 14 are here in this group of paper cubbies. Person number 1, the number is down below, so this is person number 1's cubby. Persons 15 through 33 are over here. And so if you take the math book and you've stamped it and checked it off, then just please return the math to the paper cubbies. This cover sheet, so let's see, I was going to name this one. Let's call this math. My hand is shaking here as I'm holding the iPad. Sorry. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to be seasick at the time this video is done. Let me see if I can make this a little better. So let's call this math 1-7, and today is 9-8, 15. And then this whole thing goes in the turn-in basket. Now, what, you might ask, do you do with the videos? Because there's not something to check in. At the beginning, I may be logging the videos just for ease. At some point, though, in the year, when the kids really get things underway, I may have you log those as well, in which case I will pull up a spreadsheet for you on my Google Drive, and all you'll have to do then is go through and, again, cross out numbers of people that have completed the form, and that, for me, is a sign of who has watched the video for the day, in which case, then I would just title this video, the date. And so if you remember what the video number this was, so for example, today is the 8th, so really video 1-7 was due today, 1-7 on the 9/8, and you could just do that on the sheet and then turn all of these into the turn-in basket, okay? I think that pretty much covers it. I really appreciate your time, again, and also for watching this video. Please don't hesitate to ask questions, but I know it's kind of nice to have a general sense of what you're doing, maybe before you come in. So I would take all of these, pop them in here, and then I take it from there. Okay? Again, don't hesitate to ask questions, and we're just so happy that you can come in and join us. Thanks again.